Well, let's cross over to London now. Our friend Segun Jegede is waiting in the wings to talk to us. If you can hear me, Segun, hello, how are you? How you doing?
How you doing? You're right. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Segun. Well, let's go straight into it and talk about how the African Nations Cup is affecting the English Premier League and some of the big clubs. I know clubs like Sunderland, Leicester City will be missing 3 key players, and some other clubs will be missing some players. Being there and seeing those guys play week in, week out, how do you think this will affect, especially some of those teams battling with relegation?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the teams that are battling with relegation are actually going to, have the bigger impact. But you can as well say for the big teams like Liverpool. Liverpool have a player inside of Mane that, it will definitely feel his impact going for the AFCON. He's scoring beautiful goals. He plays right and left. His moves are very, very dazzling. It's going to be a big boost for even the Premiership as well because, if I'm not mistaken, we have over 30 players leaving for AFCON. You have clubs like Leicester City. They're not in the relegation battle, but when you have players like Mahrez leaving and 3 others that are very, very important, it's going to be a big impact. It's actually a good time for Africans. We can say that our own players will be making waves in Africa, but unfortunately it will affect their club. So right about now, I think Africans are beginning to get the clout and the sort of, welcoming, warm welcome within the English fans and the clubs as well. Yeah.
Let's talk about a team like Sunderland, for instance. 3 players will not be there. Key players, Ndong, for instance, who represent Gabon, Djiloboji, the defender, played today, probably will be joining up with the Senegalese squad. How big a miss? Sunderland are where they are. A good result today for them in the English Premier League. But that team, can they survive 1 month with those 3 key players? Without those 3 key players? Well,
we'll have to wait and see. But I feel, they're players that, if they're playing week in, week out, and they're going to, for a team like Sunderland that they've been struggling for the last couple of seasons, what would you expect? It will have an effect on the team. But sometimes, it might just be a time for someone else to step up to the plate and, make Sunderland proud, but it will be difficult for them because on the bench they hardly have people that can step up to the plate. They have untested players. It's hard times for a lot of Premiership clubs. When you look at it in terms of players, even in their 3s or their 4s, even some of the ones that they have just one player, like I said, like Liverpool. It will be a big blow for them. But overall, when you look at teams like Sunderland, you look at where do they go from here. If first-team players are leaving for AFCON, it is going to be a huge, huge blow for them. There will be, depending on how far the club, the respective teams in Africa go, they'll be missing at least 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
that's a lot of time. A lot of things can happen within 2 to 3 games. And the games are coming thick and fast. They're rolling down. So that's what I feel personally, anyway.
All right, let's talk about the teams that don't have players at the tournament. Will it be an advantage? Yeah. Chelsea. To the best of my knowledge,
it will be. We have our own
Chelsea, Manchester City don't have players at the AFCON, and they are in the thick of things. Will it be an advantage? Manchester United, for instance, will be without Bailey, who's a key player for them. So those top teams,
those top teams. I think for a team like Chelsea, they'll be thanking their stars and they'll be thanking heaven that someone like Victor Moses, unfortunately, is not going to the AFCON. He's in top form now. So that would be very, very key for them. Mikel, on the other hand, Mikel is not playing football for them anyway, so they're not missing too much. But when you look at Manchester United, and you look at a player like Bailey, you know his quality, you know what he brings on. Even an half-fit Bailey, you know what he brings onto the pitch. And Manchester United, this is about the time right now where they're just getting their rhythm and flow, and things are just going smoothly for them. And you take out a key player from the defense line. I don't know what will happen, to be honest with you, but I bet Mourinho is not a happy man right now. He's not really, really happy because the walls will come crumbling down on him if Manchester United go into decline, and they'll just say to him, "You have to produce for us." That's what the club owners pay good money for.
Yeah,
and that they need good results.
All right, let's, since you talked about John Mikel Obi, maybe we should just talk about him. Spanish side Valencia have confirmed that they are in talks with him. A lot of people have said Mikel needs to start getting regular football. So would that be a good choice, in your opinion, for Mikel?
Well, we have to look at, I'm sure I understand the national team coach of Nigeria is trying to advise him as well. But for a player like Mikel, you never can tell. I mean, I've been involved in the football business for a long time. And I can tell you, every season, for the past 4 or 5 seasons, Mikel has always been linked to a lot of clubs that you guys don't even know about, even within the Premiership. So I'm just actually waiting for Mikel to go first. Because in football, things can turn around. We're in January now. All it takes is 1 player or 2 players having an injury, and then Chelsea will pull the plug back. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the talks are going on. Valencia themselves, I think they have an issue with money and the kind of player they can sign. They have a player on loan, which they're waiting to hear the outcome if he's going to perform in the, where he's playing right now or not. But with Mikel, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the transfer market, and you can never ever say. Even sometimes, a player is bound to go. Let me give you an instance. Berbatov.
Yeah.
A couple of seasons ago, Berbatov was meant to go to Italy. They sent a private jet for him. He was bound to go. And all of a sudden, his ex-coach goes to Fulham and bang, and that was it. He didn't go again. He just went to Fulham. So there's a whole lot of things that can happen. I mean, in football, anything can happen. So for Mikel, to be honest with you, I don't know if he's going to go to Valencia or Inter Milan. I think for a player like that, in his prime days, he's 29 now, I believe, he will probably want to have his last paycheck. And depending on a whole lot of things that happen, because Chelsea still have the key. He's been there for 11 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, Chelsea still have a long... Okay. They still have a lot to say in this where it's going to go, I believe.
All right, Segun, I want to thank you for your time on the show. It's been really incisive. Thank you for all you've been able to tell us. We'll do this again some other time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for having me. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.
Yeah. All right, that was Alfred from London, Segun Jegede. Guys, before we go back to our review, because that's why we're here today, but let's talk about the African Nations Cup. It's really tough for us. Nigeria will not be there. But then we're professionals, we have to do our job. CAF has been busy doling out money for participating teams so that there won't be any issues. We hear that CAF has given out $237,500 to each of the participating team. And funny enough, some of those countries are having issues like Nigeria and Ghana at some point having issues too. But let me get your thoughts quickly. In terms of preparation, which of the teams do you fancy?
Yeah, very difficult, Yemi. When you look at the Nations Cup, there are favorite teams. Every edition, there are favorite teams. You look at the Black Stars of Ghana, even the Pharaohs of Egypt. Yes, they've not been there, back to back, but you can't rule them out. When they qualify, they are always strong contenders. Then the defending champions. Javinho is out, Yaya Toure out, some of the golden generation, the players not there again, but the quality is still there. The players replacing them are of top quality, so you could also fancy Cote d'Ivoire. There could be outsiders here and there, but the Nations Cup, apart from when Zambia won the Nations Cup, it has always been that of big teams, the favorite teams.
Kule, I don't know, fancy any team going all the way?
Yeah, I want to tilt towards the part of Munye. I think if there's any team that, some of the teams that one will feel that will win the Nations Cup, that's to be the top teams, the big teams in Africa. The likes of the Ivorians, they have top players scattered all over the world. And I must say, at times it's not about the preparation, the teams put up. It's about the zeal, the enthusiasm put up by the teams. When they get to the tournament. And I think for teams like, the favorites will always be the Ivorians, the Ghanaians. Then we can also have the Egyptians, the Tunisians can also, they can also come up with a surprise. So I think, you know, if you're talking about any team, one of the teams that will win this, I think I want to go for the Ivorians retaining it again.
Okay, all right. I'm not making any prediction. Usually I like to sit on the fence. And but let's really talk about Senegal. Golden generation of players, good team. I don't know, but they've always been like that. I remember the time they came to the Nations Cup, they had the best strikers, Musa, so I mean a lot of other players, but they crashed out in the first round. But now those players are there. Kouyaté, although Diafra is not going to be here, Mane, all the players, and you know. But I'm still not hearing people call them favorites.
Yeah, because they have not lived up to expectations as far as the Nations Cup is concerned. You know what I mean? You know, like you said, they have top quality players, not in doubt. In fact, when they went to the World Cup in 2002, they also had quality, but they have a fundamental issue, and is that of unity. You know, sometimes the players, top quality players, have issues with coaches. They don't want to come for the Nations Cup, and some players, because of that, are are left out. And even when they come, there are always issues of indiscipline, breaching cap rules, going to nightclubs. You know, this affects, you know, the rhythm, the unity of the team. So I think for the Senegalese, they are the architect of their own misfortune. They have to play as a team. They have to see the national team as, you know, as a big project for them to come and win. That's the difference between the other countries, Ghana, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Egypt, and of recent Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay. Let's go on another quick break. We'll be back for more on Sports Tonight. John Skeng.